Critics are pointing to both recent and past comments from President Obama about the war on terror and the state of Al-Qaeda that appear to contradict or be contradicted, rather, by this growing global threat. Here is the president, March of 2012.
I said we'd refocus on the people who actually attacked us on 9/11. And today, Al-Qaeda's on the run and Osama bin Laden is dead.
KT McFarland, Fox News national security analyst, here to talk about all this. KT, good morning to you. I know you're following all this over the weekend.
Sure.
How do we look at that comment now?
Look, we have gone leading from behind. We are now cowering under the bed. That travel warning for all Americans all over the world to go for a month, I have never seen anything like that. That is unprecedented. And it's not just that Al-Qaeda is no longer dead. It's not just the political point that President Obama said, bin Laden is dead, Al-Qaeda's finished. And now we see a year later that Al-Qaeda, in fact, is stronger and in more places all over the world. It's not just that. It's the whole sort of collection of issues where we have said we're going to punish the people who killed our people in Benghazi, and we've done nothing. And even though we know that the people who are the masterminds are sitting free, giving interviews to CNN, to the New York Times, to Reuters, we haven't gone after them. What has that done? That's a green light to Al-Qaeda saying, open season on Americans. You can kill them. And they may make threats, but they don't come after you.
At the end of last year, you and I talked on this program about the effect and the impact if you do not go after those responsible. How do people overseas interpret that? How do members that are affiliated with Al-Qaeda that want to do harm, how do they interpret that? This coming on the heels of Benghazi. Now, how do you view that now and those comments in this light today?
Well, Bill, you and I had this same discussion, and you said, what will happen if we don't get the people who got our people in Benghazi? And I said, they will hit us again. They will look for another opening. They will look for another anniversary. They will do this again. If you don't stop them, they'll do it again. Now, why did I say that? Because in June of 2001, Osama bin Laden had a recruitment video. He said, look at what happened to America. We bombed the USS Cole. We bombed American embassies in East Africa. They did nothing about it. We can get them and we can kill them with impunity and they won't come after us. Join in a holy war against Americans. And what did we have after that? September 11th. My whole point is, unless you stand firm and you deliver on your threats, you make good on your promises, you will continue to be taken for advantage of and humiliated. And we are seeing this again and again, not just with Al-Qaeda, but with Iran, with Putin and Russia, time and time again. If you make empty threats and idle promises and you do not back them up, then you get exploited and taken advantage of and humiliated, and it has real consequences.
Peter King called this a wake-up call. But you constantly make the point about leading from behind in a number of cases you cited here. What is the long-term effect of that policy, if you believe that?
Well, America's neither feared nor respected. Now, I'm not saying you go back to the George Bush days and have wars that you can't win. But I am saying that if President Obama makes these statements, we're going to get those people who killed our people in Benghazi, and then does nothing about it. If President Obama says there are real consequences to you, Mr. Putin, if you keep Snowden and don't return him, and then we do nothing about it. If we tell Iran there are real consequences coming to you if you continue your nuclear weapons program, and then we do nothing about it. At a certain point, leading from behind, those guys out front stop looking back for orders, and they go on their own way, and here we are.
You wonder if this extends beyond August, because you have September 11th coming up in the first half of the next month, and whether or not this stretches into that as a precaution. KT, let's hope nothing happens. KT McFarland with her analysis on what we're seeing today. Thank you.